Hey guys, just wanted to jump on here and clarify a few things about the scoring system. So I have workouts written, right? They're written, they have certain movements in it, they have certain weights that you're supposed to use and standards of movement. If you're unable to do it as written, if you're the RX athlete or you're the scale athlete and you approach that workout and there's any movement within that workout that you need to modify and there's modifications written in the workouts, you're going to score below anyone that does it as written. All right, so let's talk the gymnastics workout. Veer over here and look at the workout. So we start at 2 reps of handstand push-ups, box jump overs at 30 or 24, chest to bar pull-ups, and then box jump overs. So you and your RX partner have to be able to do handstand push-ups, right? So you kick up, you do a handstand push-ups. I already talked about the standard, so I don't really need to talk about that anymore. But you already know that you cannot do an RX handstand push-up and you need to modify. Well, the modification is written in there. It's a 25-pound plate and ab mat. You're modifying from the RX version down to the scaled version. So right there, as soon as you do your first rep at that scaled movement, modified movement, you're going to place or score below any team that does it as written. All right. It's only fair, right? If a team tackles this workout as written, it's a lot tougher than modifying it to the easier movement. And it doesn't matter if you modify one movement or 2 movements or all the movements. If you're modified, you're modified. So, people ask, well, if I modify one thing, should I modify everything? If you're worried about your scoring and placing above other teams that modify, absolutely. You want to make that workout as easy as possible for you. If you're not worried about placement or scoring, then you want to make a challenging workout for you. You can modify one movement, do the other movement at the RX level or whatever to get a more challenging workout. Obviously, it's going to slow you down if it's a little bit tougher version. Right? So that being said, that applies to any of the movements. If you cannot do a 30 or 24-inch box jump over at the in the RX division, you're modified. If you cannot do a chest to bar pull-up in that workout, doesn't matter if you can do a handstand push-up, you are modified. All right. So yeah, if you modify anything as written, you drop down and score below anyone that has done it as written. Now, I have specific modifications in there at the RX level, right? The handstand push-up I talked about, 25-pound plate and ab mat, just like the scaled version. The chest to bar becomes a pull-up. Now, if you need to modify further than that, it's kind of a double modification, right? So you are gonna place below anybody that does it at the modified, right? Because you're double modifying something. You're unable to do the modification of the movement. If I just said you can modify any way you want, it'd be a free-for-all, right? So I have a modification in there that you need to follow. And again, if you're unable to do that modification, then you're double modifying. We'll put that on your score sheet, and then we will have you place below any team that was able to stick with the written modification of the movement. Same thing goes with the scaled division. The movement is pull-ups, 25-pound plate and ab mat. The modification is a jumping pull-up. The modification is a hand release push-up. So if you're unable to do a hand release push-up to RX standards, or you're unable to do a jumping pull-up to RX standards, then you default to double modification, and anybody that does it as written modified will place above you because you double modified. So recap, if you modify anything, your whole team is modified. Maybe I didn't even mention that. So RX athletes do it as per, or scaled athletes do it as per, because they go first. An RX athlete has to modify. Your whole team now has done it modified, right? Because your time is an accumulative effort between the intermediate and the RX athletes. You're going to, on a 20-minute time cap, you're going to have a time of 18:42 or whatever your score is. So that's a combined time. So if one person modifies, you've altered your whole workout, right? So the kicker is, if anybody on your whole team of 4, whether it's scaled workout or RX workout, modifies anything, your whole workout is modified. Does that mean everybody drops down to the modification? It could, but you don't have to, right? If you're not too worried about the scoring, then and you want to get a good workout and show that you can do chest to bar and show that you can do RX handstand push-ups and it's a good workout for you, then fly at it, right? It's mostly for fun. But if you're really worried about scoring, then you're dropping down to the modified version of the workout. So anybody else that does a modified, you're competing against each other, right? So if your whole team drops down to that modified and you get a quicker time than another team that modified, you place above them type thing. So hopefully that makes sense. It may clarify a few things or confuse people even more, but feel free to reach out, right? You know how to get a hold of me. If you have a question that I haven't answered, then reach out to me and I will do the best I can to clarify. Okay,